news reporter. And on today's news, blah 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 blah. Just ignore this here. That's kind of where it goes because there's no place for it. There's no drawers for it to fit in. It's just my sister's makeup and a piece of paper. Okay, so today I thought I'd do like a little like uni advice kind of video. Hence why I have notes. Just because I'm going into my third year of uni, but I'm doing a placement year, so I've done 2 years. I'll do my placement year and then I'll do my last year at uni. So I have like a fair bit of experience with uni. My uni experience hasn't been like your typical go out party every night like so far. So like just thought I'd share with you some stuff that I wish I knew when I started uni in the hope that it might help somebody else. First piece of advice is that you probably won't meet your forever friends. You hear a lot about people going to uni, finding their friends for life, finding the person they married and all that kind of stuff. Me personally, I didn't have a strong friendship group in uni until March of my first year. If you think about it, that's like 6 months of the year that I was basically alone. Like, I knew the people I'm friends with now. One of those people I did meet on my very first day because we went to this like retreat thing and we went to lectures together, we had a seminar together, like we're friends in that sense, but we didn't start hanging out outside of uni other to like revise. We didn't start doing like shopping or like going for meals or going out clubbing until like March. So before that I obviously drifted between friend groups, fell out with a few people, drifted apart from a few people because we're just different, like, you know how it is. Honestly, just depends on the person, the situation, the people you meet. But yeah, don't get disheartened if you're a few months in and you don't really know anyone, or the people that you're friends with you don't think are your people, or you can't see yourself being friends with these people forever. Like, that is totally fine, totally normal, like, it's fine. Okay, this one kind of relates to the last one, but this one is the people that you meet during freshers might not be your people. I had like a friend group in freshers because I was me and my flatmate, the only other female flatmate, because we were in a flat of boys. We both went out in freshers, made a group of friends. She's still friends with them to this day, but I'm not friends with any of them. The last time I spoke to any of them was my flatmate back on my birthday, I think. And I actually bumped into one of them clubbing in my hometown once too, which was really weird because she's not from Portsmouth. So I was like, that's kind of weird. You could, so like I said before, you could meet your best friends in freshers. You might not. Equally, don't feel bad if you don't go out every night in freshers. I went out, I think, 4 out of 7. Technically, our freshers was like 8 days because we started on the Saturday. So we had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's like 8 days. I went out about 4 of those days. Because if you're not a big clubbing person, you're not a big clubbing person, you know, like, I'd only been clubbing twice before I went to uni, so I definitely wasn't as much of an alcohol person as I am now, like when I first started. And that's totally fine too. If you don't want to go out with freshers every night, you don't have to. If you'd rather stay in and call your mum because you miss home, that's fine. If you'd rather lay in bed, get in bed at 8 o'clock and watch your favourite film, that's fine. Just do what makes you happy and what you want to do, basically. Oh yeah, this one kind of relates, but this is, you don't have to go out every day or every weekend. Like, kind of relates to that, so I'm not going to go into that too much. Next tip is don't bring loads of cutlery. I was that person that brought like a set of like 4 forks, 4 knives, 4 spoons, 4 teaspoons, and like 4 plates, 4 bowls. You don't need all of that. I'd say 2 of each is fine because you have limited space when you're in dormers anyway. You don't want it to be filled with plates that you're not going to use because you don't have any visitors over. And if you do have visitors over, I'm sure if your flatmates have a spare plate, they'll let you use it, or like, you know. This one kind of relates to flatmates. Well, it is about flatmates. They will be messy. This is something I found very difficult. I'm not really like an over-the-top clean person, but I don't like if stuff's untidy, that's fine. Like, my room has clothes everywhere most of the time. But it's when there's like ketchup all over the side or butter on the side and people don't clean it up, that's when I have an issue. If you leave like your clean dishes on the side, that's fine. If you leave your dirty dishes piled up on the side because you haven't washed them up yet, that's fine. It's just when there's like actual food everywhere, that's my issue. And my flatmates had a few issues with that kind of stuff. We actually got a few warnings because it was too messy or there's too much stuff everywhere for the cleaner to clean. Yeah, we had a cleaner come in once a week, but if there was like stuff on the sides or in the sink, they just wouldn't clean that area because I guess so they don't break anything or lose anything, because they could get like sued or get complaints and stuff. But if they couldn't do it, I think it was 3 times in a row, they'd give you a warning each time they couldn't do it, and then they'd fine you. So I had a few heated discussions about that because I was like, I'm not paying a fine if it's not my stuff causing the issue. Like, sorry honey, I'm not made of money. Next like piece of advice, like word of warning, the jump from A level to first year of uni is quite big, and the jump from first year of uni to second year of uni is even bigger. A lot of people say that first year of uni isn't as hard as second year of A levels, which in some terms it isn't, because, well, for my course anyway, all of our exams done for multiple choice, which made that a lot easier, and some of the content was a bit more basic because it was like introductory. However, there is a lot more content. Like, it's kind of like doing the content of 8 A levels throughout a year, because I did 8 modules for summer, for winter, technically spring, but assessed in summer, you know what I mean. Yeah, so it's kind of like that in terms of like the load of content, like there's so much to learn, but then the actual assessment forms aren't as difficult because there is multiple choice exams, but then you do have to adjust to write in different types of like essays, because I do essays and lab reports mostly, sometimes research proposals, like project proposals, so you have to get used to the whole new structure of that. But then first year also doesn't count, so like you can get used to it without affecting your main grade, which is good. But yeah, don't act like it's an easy year because it will make second year a lot harder. Also, the jump from first year to second year is also very difficult because you go from doing multiple choice exams to having to write essays in exams, which is quite a big jump, quite a bit of a struggle. Also, they mark a lot harsher in second year. First year they're like, okay, they're new, you know, it will be nice. And then second year they're like, no. This also kind of relates to what I was just saying, but since the jump is quite big, make sure you keep on top of your work, like, because, well, for my course I do psychology, so in the exam we get like assessed on lecture content and the essential readings. In my first term I did about 2 of the readings as I went along. So before the exam, there's like 12 weeks in a term, I think. So before the exam, in like the 2-3 week break over Christmas, I had to do all 12 readings for each module. Don't make that mistake. Catch up with your readings and your like lecture notes the week that you're meant to be doing them. Like me personally, if I go to a lecture, I start writing notes, but then I just end up either falling behind because they move so quickly, or like just listening to what the lecturer is saying instead, and then I go home that night, write out the rest of the notes. Sometimes it's not the same night. If I'm in 9 to 5, I won't do it on that day. Like, come on, who's gonna get home at 5 and do more uni work? Like, not me. But say I'll do it the next day when I finish earlier, or I'll do it like on the weekend, and then I finish off the lecture notes, and then I highlight them and do like either flashcards, or I do Quizlet quite a lot. Okay, next 2 are like more like personal ones rather than to do with other people and to do with actual uni work, I guess. First one is don't be scared to do things alone. Before I moved to Brighton, I literally wouldn't do anything on my own because all my friends were here. I didn't have to do anything on my own. If I wanted to go to Asda, I'd go with my friends or my mum. If I needed to go into town and get some socks from Primark, one of my friends would probably come with me. But then obviously, like I said, I didn't really have many friends before March. So from September to March, that's like 6 months. I would go and do all these things on my own. And at first it was scary because I was like, what if everyone's staring at me? But I promise you now, no one is staring at you. If you're doing a food shop on your own, it's literally normal. Like, every uni student does a food shop on their own at least once in their 3 years. Every person that lives alone does a food shop on their own at least once. Nobody cares at all. Once you get to like uni, even college, sometimes people stop caring about other people. Obviously if you're out in public, you might get like the odd 12-year-old that gives you a funny look, but they should be in school anyway, so really, who's the one in the wrong here, you know? Last thing that I have to say is try and make effort with people. As someone who has a lot of anxiety, this is very difficult, but I did notice that once I started messaging the people I'm friends with now to like meet up to revise or meet up to go for a meal or something, that was when they started inviting me to stuff more. Because I guess before that they were already a group and they didn't really, maybe they thought I had other friends, maybe they thought that they didn't need to invite me to stuff because I had other people. But honestly, if you just reach out to people and you're like, hey, do you want to meet up to revise sometime? No one's going to say no to that. Or if you have the same break, be like, hey, are you going to be in the library on your break? Or like, if you have the same lesson, be like, oh yeah, do you want to meet up 5 minutes before so we can blah blah blah, you know? Like, it doesn't always have to be like you being like, let's go for food, because if you're meeting up to do uni work anyway, there are going to be silences where you can just work if you can't think of anything to say, you know? It's not that deep, which is the beauty of it, really. You can hide behind uni and the fact you're meant to do work if it gets awkward, other than being like, yeah, let's go out for the day the first time you meet them and it gets awkward and you don't have anything to fill the silence with. At least you have something in common, you're on the same course, you've both moved to uni from somewhere else, and you're probably have a similar interest in career if you're doing the same degree. If you're thinking about going to uni and you don't even know what you want to do with your life, go. I don't know what I want to do with my life either. Honestly, if anything, do 4 years at uni and then maybe a master's, so technically 5 years. It's buying me time to figure out what I want to do with my life. You're buying time to figure yourself out, find yourself. I'm completely different to who I was 18 years ago. 18 years ago? I'm completely different to who I was 2 years ago when I was 18 and started uni. So, you know, but yeah, that is all for today's video. If you are starting uni, good luck. Have fun. It will be fun, even if your experience is different to other people's. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon with another video. Bye.